back with another video. You guys did great with the pasta, I'm hoping. If you didn't actually make it and you just looked at the video, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Today we are going to be making shrimp. So I wanted to do something different with it. You usually see like Alfredo sauces, cream sauces, blah, blah, blah. We all have had that a million times. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do a curry shrimp. So it's not the traditional curry you use, usually coconut milk and things like that. This is a little bit lighter, a little bit healthier, but we are going to be using curry powder, a little bit of vegetables, whatever I have in the pantry. Honestly, I think I have carrots, broccoli, mushrooms, scallions. So that'll probably be thrown in there as well. And then I'm gonna pair that with jasmine rice because I love jasmine rice. I love all types of rice. So yeah, that's it. You don't necessarily have to have every single ingredient that I have. I know with how crazy things are nowadays, you might not have access to all the produce and some of the items that you normally do just because of the high demand for literally everything. But today, like I said, we're gonna have fun with this. I personally brought shell on, tail on fish, sorry, shrimp. So I'm going to clean that, and I do that because I like to use this shrimp stocks after. The shrimp shells to make stock after. So I'm gonna do that with mine. You can just get yours cleaned, deveined, and peeled already. You don't have to worry about cleaning it, but we are gonna go through the process of how to clean shrimp that is not cleaned already for you. So that'll just be a little clip in the video. And I did not get the size that I normally get or the count. So the count, when you go and see shrimp and you go to the store and you see like 21.25 or 41.45, that's, called a count. So that means if I have 1 pound of shrimp, I'm going to expect in mine 21 to 25 pieces of shrimp in a pound. If you have 30, 35 or whatever in 1 pound of fish, keep saying fish, in 1 pound of shrimp, you are going to be able to expect that number or that amount of shrimp in 1 pound if you get 1 pound. So again, that's just the count. The size that I got was 21.25, and my Publix seafood employee hooked me up. So that's what I'm gonna use today. But again, you can use whatever you have. If you have a really, really small baby shrimp, you can use that as well. Right, so I'm going to gather my mise en place, or everything in place. That's a French term for pretty much all the ingredients you need for a recipe, and then we're gonna get started. So I have everything I need here for my shrimp. I've already re-washed it a couple times just because I have OCD, and that's just me. So it's deveined already, which is great. I don't have to worry about that. So the only thing you have to do is go ahead and peel the shell off. I have a bowl for the shrimp shells and then for the actual shrimp. I'm gonna save the shells for a stock later down the line. Make sure to hold the end of the shrimp, the tail, firmly tug the shell away from the actual flesh of the shrimp, and there you have every little bit of shrimp. You're not leaving anything in the shells. So again, you're gonna do this for all of the shrimp. You wanna make sure that you pull the shell away, hold the end firmly, tug the shell, and it should slide right out. Don't even think about throwing the shells away. Put them in the freezer. You can use them for a stock later, okay? All right, fast forward and we are done. So as you can see, I have my mise en place. I have my vegetables. I have my shrimp shells. I'm gonna freeze those later, and then I have my shrimp. I put together a mixture, the recipe is right here, that I'm gonna use for almost like a rub or a marinade, but I'm only gonna use half of it. I'm gonna put some of it in the shrimp and then some of it with the vegetables. So I'm just gonna begin to cut my veggies. I like a pretty hearty curry, so I'm not gonna slice these thinly at all. I'm just gonna cut them in quarters and halves if they're a little bit larger, and then just set them aside, and we're gonna cook those separately. So again, you just wanna cut those in halves, in quarters if you like. Save the stem, don't throw those out. I try to utilize everything that I have. I don't want to waste anything. Only ingredient you don't see here is a ½ cup of vegetable stock. I'm going to throw a splash of coconut milk in mine, but you don't have to. You can if you want, but you don't have to. full broccoli stock. This stem part can definitely be used. We are going to use that. Do not throw that away. So you're going to cut the broccoli in almost like spears, just the top floret parts. And then you are going to end up using the rest of the stock. But again, just little spears, bite-sized pieces, not too huge. These are just going to be thrown in the very last minute because we want to keep the integrity of our green veggies, any veggie really, but especially our green veggies. So to utilize this, you're going to want to peel the outside layer. It's pretty fibrous. It is really good though, but it's fibrous. So you want to get a peeler, peel out the outside layer just like you would a carrot. There's so many great applications for this. Again, soups, if you want to use it in braises, a quick stir fry, you can cut them pretty thin. I'm going to cut them into like chunks, maybe 1-inch chunks after I clean my cutting board off and set my scraps to the side. So you want to half these and then half them again. Your cuts don't have to be perfect. Again, this is pretty simple, easy recipe. I'm just going to cut these on a bias, about 1/2 inch thick so that they cook pretty quickly. Again, it is a little bit more fibrous than the actual head of the broccoli itself. So again, just diagonals. You can use the tip of your knife and just in halves, about 1/2 inch thick. Same thing with the carrots. I had some baby carrots in the fridge. I said, what the heck, why not? So those go in there as well. And remember, your knife cuts don't have to be perfect. You're just having fun on this recipe. We're gonna do some videos for proper knife cutting techniques later down the line, but just do what you can. I'm gonna start by removing that thin layer at the bottom you might find on some of the scallions. And then you're gonna cut these probably like 1.5 inch or 1 inch thick. They don't have to be perfect. Again, this is just gonna be thrown in and cooked. This isn't used for garnish, but do not throw the ends away. So I use those. Those have a ton of flavor. This is in the onion family, so it's more of a mild, sweeter onion flavor. But just remove that like fibrous bottom, if you will, and set that aside. But if you don't want to use these or use all of the scallion, you can use the ends like these pieces and keep those for soups or sauces or stocks. Like I said, I always want to utilize as much of the product, produce, ingredients, meat, whatever that I have so that I'm not throwing or wasting anything. That is my biggest thing. Use what you already have and make the best of it. So the scallions can stay in this bowl. I'm gonna actually use this bowl for the shrimp that I'm gonna marinate. The rub, I'm gonna use that as kind of like a dry rub / dry marinade, if you will. So everything together, I'm just gonna mix that with my hand. You can use a fork if you'd like, but I mean, I have gloves on anyway. I usually always do. So I'm just gonna use the tips of my fingers to kind of blend it all together so that it's thoroughly incorporated. And I'm gonna sprinkle about half of the mixture on the shrimp, and I'm gonna leave the other half because we're gonna use that later down the line. So go ahead and kind of massage the shrimp with the dry rub as well as the scallions, and you can let that sit just for a few minutes. If you wanna add some extra ingredients, some fresh ginger and garlic I'm gonna put in after in a moment. And then you can add again whatever spice mixture that you would like. So we're ready to start. You're gonna start on a medium-high heat. You're gonna add a little bit of oil, extra virgin, canola, whatever you like. Mushrooms, carrots, broccoli ends go in, and I just put in some coconut butter. That's what I use. You do not have to. So you're gonna saute your veggies. Don't move them too much. You want a nice caramelization. That's where you get the complexity and depth of flavors. You see they're starting to caramelize a little bit. Again, let it sit for a moment. This is high heat. You want color. That means flavor. Color means flavor. So when you see that they're starting to brown, you're gonna throw in your garlic, your shrimp, and your scallions. I put a little garlic and ginger, like I said previously, in the marinade, and I'm just gonna put that in the pan for a few minutes. This takes no more than 5 minutes, guys. Don't overcook your shrimp. I throw a little bit more coconut butter in there. Again, you do not have to use that, or you can use whatever butter that you would like. I'm gonna stir it up. Your your shrimp is going to be opaque or a little bit of pink once it starts to cook a little bit. I'm going to throw that 1/2 cup of vegetable stock as well as the curry powder mixture. I'm going to throw in a splash of coconut milk. Again, you do not have to, but I am going to. The broccoli is going to go in last. I'm going to cover it for like 4 minutes, heat off, and that's it. I don't want the broccoli to get mushy. So as you can see, that was super simple, guys. Good job. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope yours came out as good as mine. Again, this isn't your traditional curry. It's a little bit healthier, and again, you may not have all the things that you normally would need for this because of everything going on. So use what you have in your pantry. Don't feel obligated or pressured into making sure you have every single thing. You can serve this with pasta if you like, but I always do mine. I love jasmine rice, so I serve that with that. And then that's it. It's pretty simple. Thank you again. Enjoy. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe, like, and comment if you have any recipes that you would like to see. And remember, laugh a little bit. It's just food.